Hi everyone. It's been a minute since my last video and I'm trying not to cry. um, that video was a little sad. However, I am trying to look at things on the brighter side. You know, whenever you have a goal of trying to accomplish something and something that is meaningful and you aren't able to complete something that you started, it's very disappointing. I'm not going to be able to complete the entire AT, but you know, my goal from the very beginning was to have a hike of healing, to experience the beauty of nature, to encourage and inspire others, and to appreciate God's creation. And those goals were met, all of them. I have healed. My heart and my mind are so much better than when I started. Um, I found the beauty in nature every single day and rejoiced in the rain, in the snow, in the wind, in the cold, and even when it was hot. I am going to return to the trail. My thought is that September 1st will be my return date. I will be going back to Harper's Ferry and hiking Sobo in order for me to be shuttled to Snickers Gap, Virginia, which is 20 some miles away from Harper's Ferry. And then I'll start from that point south to hike Virginia. My husband and I plan on hiking the other half of the Smokies in November, and so I will have achieved hiking from Springer Mountain to that point in Pennsylvania where I had to get off. The reason I had to get off is because of gear, for lack of a better term. You know, our backpacks are really important. You know, our tents are important. Every single piece of gear that we choose helps lift us up for success on that journey. Your mind and your heart are a piece of gear. Your hands are a piece of gear, and so are your feet. And my feet are just not wanting to cooperate with me. I never had plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendonitis or peroneal tendonitis before I started hiking, and I achieved all three of those, so in a way I'm an overachiever. But I can tell you the plantar fasciitis is already improving. I do not have the pains of ice picks going into the bottoms of my heels anymore, which is why I had to come off the trail. I literally had a very difficult time walking. The Achilles tendonitis is holding on. I think that's just going to take a little more time, and the peroneal tendonitis is there as well. I'm hoping that with this period of rest and recuperation that I will be able to restart my hike on September 1st. I've said from the beginning, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one small step, and you know, if I'm able to finish Virginia and the Smokies, then I will have done my 1,000 miles, my 1,000+ miles. Would I have liked to have seen Katahdin? I would have loved that. But I think that sometimes we have to face reality. Do I feel like a failure or do I feel weak? I'm strong, and you women, young women, older women, women with disabilities, if I could do what I did, then you can do it. And all you can ever do is your best. That's all you can ever do. No one can ask you to do more than your best. Your mind is a wonderful organ. It's a beautiful tool. And you know, if you use your mind, for those of you that are disabled and unable to go do anything physically, you can be exhausted at the end of the day from just using your mind and finding something that brings you joy, a feeling of accomplishment, and giving to others. You know, giving to others is my jam. It may not be yours, but it's mine. And so I want to encourage you to do something that will give you the same joy that I experienced as I was hiking. For those of you that can be active, get up off the couch, do something, do anything. I've said this over and over and over. Walk to the mailbox, go swimming, ride a bike, do a day hike, walk with your sweetheart around the block, come back. You know, do something for your body, for your mind, for your heart, for your physicality. so you can feel better and live longer and a healthier lifestyle. Inspiring and encouraging others. You all have encouraged and inspired me. You just have no idea. You guys are the bee's knees. You're awesome, 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 and you make me H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y. I may not sound as though I'm H-A-P-P-Y right now because I am struggling a little bit, but I am. I am happy with the support that I've received from you all. I could not have asked, I could not have requested or asked for a better audience than you. You guys have been incredible. My husband came to me this morning and said, I read all the comments on your last video and you need to be very grateful for the followers that you have. And I said, I am very grateful and I want you to know that I am. I got more than the beauty of nature and healing out of this. I actually made friends with people that I will be friends with for the rest of my life, and I gained a brother from another mother. I don't have a brother, a biological brother, and so for me to gain a family member, a new family member, has been a joy that goes deeper than I can express. I have received so many very gracious, humbling, and encouraging responses from you. I can't tell you how much that has meant to me. You have no idea, truly. I want to share a couple of thoughts with you. Sometimes we are not happy. Sometimes being content is good enough until you can find that pathway to happiness. Right now I'm happy to be home with my husband and my boy. I am truly happy and completely fulfilled in that regard. Am I happy with my achievement on the AT? No, I'm content. I know I've done my best, but I know I have more to give, and I am going to try and do that in September. I have a goal that gives me something to look forward to. Do you have a goal? If you don't, find one, get one, think of one, create one. It makes all the difference in the world knowing that you have something to look forward to. Success. How do you measure success? Success is measured by the ability to do your best, put everything that you have into it, and know there's nothing else you could have done. That's success. Some people will say that you're not successful if you don't complete a whole hike, and for them that may be true. However, the reality of life is that you're not always going to reach every goal that you have planned out for yourself. Sometimes you only get halfway, and then there's a fork in the road and you go another direction, and that direction leads you to the success that was meant for you to have and experience, not the original path that you had for yourself. And you know, often when you have a minute to look back, you can see that there was great wisdom in another path being laid before you. You don't always understand the reasons when they occur, but in time, you can look back and you can see that the other alternatives laid out before you were put there for good reason. And so I am trusting that that other pathway that's been set before me was laid out for a good reason. And I'm grateful for what I was able to experience. Some of you may be sitting there thinking to yourself, why is she saying you can do it when she couldn't even do it? And my response to you would be this: success does not need to be measured on whether you get from point A to point Z. Success is measured on the journey and what happens on the journey, not the destination. The journey is the destination. Some people may say, oh, she's just mincing words, and that's really not the definition of success. I want to share this little story with you. It's about the words and the meanings behind perception and reality. As a glass is half empty or it is half full. It's your perception, right? Is it half empty or is it half full? Is a hike that ends halfway to Catan successful or is it not? You know, I met a lot of grumpy people along the way. And it was interesting because in my mind, I just thought the AT was going to be Shangri-La and that everybody was going to be happy and, you know, carefree. And that's just not the reality of the situation. That was my perception, but that was not the reality. And as I met those people and I was around them often, more than once, I got to see that they had layers. We all have layers like an onion, where you go, you peel down deeper and deeper, and you find more and more interesting things about that individual and what makes them tick. And for those people that were grumpy, they've had a pretty hard life and, you know, needed somebody to be a little bit more understanding or not so demanding or a little bit more supportive. And so the perception was that they were grumpy. The reality was they were hurting. And so perception and reality in so many things, it's just different. It's just different. I do want to say a very special thank you for those individuals that supported me with cups of coffee and paying for hostel stays in advance of me even knowing that my bill had been paid, for wanting to provide Trail Magic even though I didn't make it to your state. Those are all huge blessings. They help tremendously, and if it wasn't in the cost of something that was going to need to be paid for, it was mentally knowing that I had something to look forward to in another state, meeting other individuals. And while I would love to thank every individual by name, I'm afraid that I would leave somebody out, and I don't want to offend anyone. So it's a blanket thank you, but it is sincere and meaningful, and it is full of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me along the way. Not just for your encouragement and your comment and sketches and cups of coffee and hostel stay that were paid for, but just for being funny, inquisitive, informative, interesting, intriguing. You all have been terrific, just terrific. You're beautiful and awesome, and you made me happy. Will there be any more videos between now and September whenever I get ready to go? I don't know. I think that's kind of up to you all. If you indicate to me that you would like for me to do a video and what you might want me to share with you, I would be happy to do that. I don't want to bore you with videos that are not interesting or intriguing or fulfill you in some way, because those videos are meant to inspire and encourage others and lift you up. Bravery. I've had so many women ask me, aren't you scared? Or, you know, thank you for sharing this video. I wouldn't have had the courage to do a hike if I had not seen you do it. Or, you know, sometimes I have panic attacks, and the way that you handled that was done well. And I want to say to you, being brave, let me tell you something. The first step of bravery is making a decision that you want to do something that's counterintuitive to what your brain says you can do. That's the first act of bravery right there. You can do it. You can make that decision. That is the very first step on that journey of 1,000 miles. And doing the planning is another act of bravery. Getting gear, another act of bravery. Training, bravery. You're becoming stronger. Stepping on that first trail, the very first step, that takes bravery and courage, and you can do it. I believe in you. I have faith in you. Have faith in yourself. You can do it. Was I afraid while I was on trail? There were a few things that caused me concern. Yes, there were, but I wasn't scared because I made up my mind before I left that I was not going to be scared. And you know, as long as you know what you're getting into, you do your research, you ask a lot of questions, you get a lot of answers, and you are prepared. You can do it. You can do anything. I know you can. You need to know that you can. And that doesn't matter if you're a female hiking solo, a young person, somebody that is older, or a man, or a person with a disability. You can do it. You have touched my heart in a way that has reinvigorated my faith in humanity, and you cannot understand what a big deal that is for me, because I had pretty much lost my faith in humanity before this trip. Thank you. very sincerely. This comment is meant especially for one individual who made a comment about my hat still being white at the end of my journey. What a smarty pants. This hat may have looked white, but on the inside it was as grungy as it could be, and it took me several washes with a base wash to get this clean. And it is clean now, but it was not clean. And before I close, I want to say a special thank you to my greatest ally, my greatest advocate, the love of my life, the person that is there always, my husband. I appreciate you, honey. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. I appreciate every word of support, every hug, every phone call, every text message. I appreciated it all, and I still do. Thank you so much for supporting me. Y'all take good care, and I'll see you in my next video.